Jeff and Shelley Schultz.
Yes.
We've been married now for 12 years.
13.
13. It's pretty close. Close enough. We've gone to Eastpointe for 3, maybe a little more years. One of the first few services that we went to, Pastor Sean got up and gave a tithing challenge. My views about tithing in the past were basically kind of like it was a membership due to the church, and that you could pay it if you wanted to, but you could get the services for free if you didn't want to pay. It didn't really matter. As a small child, I grew up in church in a religious family. I remember hearing about tithing, and God would give you more than you gave Him, plenty more, until your cup runneth over. And I remember as a small child emptying my wallet into the offering plate, and then basically waiting at home the next day for the millions of dollars I was to receive. And it didn't work. But anyways, back to what Sean said. Sean had given the tithing challenge, and had given 90-day money-back guarantee, which is the first time in my life I'd ever heard a pastor be that sure of himself that we would receive the gifts God had planned for us. So,
Also grew up in church. Saw my mom and dad tithe well over the 10% religiously, and so I grew up thinking that was just a duty. It's just what you did. There wasn't a deeper meaning behind it. And so what I've learned throughout our tithing journey is that it allows you to see the blessings that you don't pick up on in everyday life. And
yes,
you're always blessed. But when you're tithing, God just opens your heart and opens your mind and lets you see things that you wouldn't have otherwise seen. And throughout all of that, Jeff and I have grown closer as a couple. A lot of you know our story. Over the past 3 years, Jeff's had 2 significant surgeries. And I don't know, I'm so happy we took the tithing challenge beforehand, because I don't want to even think about how we would have made it through this time without God at the center of our lives.
Within the first few weeks, it was obvious that God was working in our lives, and that there was no possible way that we were going to be able to ask for our money back. The blessings we were receiving, not just financially, but throughout our life and the different aspects of it, our cup definitely was running over. At the end of the 90 days, and I know this happens differently for everyone, but it's unexplainable. You can't, and I like math. I was going to be an accountant before I decided to do the things I do now, but you can't put pencil to paper and explain how we were blessed. The bills were more than they should be due to some surgeries and some other things that we were going through. And the amount of money that we had on paper coming in didn't add up. We owed, 10 times the amount that we were bringing in, but somehow we were able to pay all the bills that we owed. And so when we started the challenge, we basically had not zero, but not very much money in the bank account. And by year 1 or maybe year and a half of tithing, following and doing what we had been asked to do, we had $20,000 in the bank account. Our house was paid off. We were able to purchase 2 newer vehicles, not new vehicles, and I owed some doctors approximately $70,000 to $80,000, and that debt was just completely forgiven, erased, wiped clean. You can look at those things and call them coincidences, but I know they were God's blessing. It's funny when you're looking for them, how many blessings you can count up, or at least try to. Both my children were saved, which is the greatest blessing a father or parents can receive, to know that my whole family now will get to be with me in heaven. I don't think words can express the amount of blessings that we've received since we've been faithful to God and basically giving Him what was His.